Howdy. It's Wednesday, the 13th of August, into Thursday, August the 14th. I'm Rick Arsenault, live and direct from the Frank Nick Chevrolet Studio Annex. This is another edition of Time Out Over Time on the Time Out Over Time YouTube channel. As I said, I'm your host, Rick Arsenault. Please, if you haven't done so yet, folks, get down there in the corner and smash that like and subscribe button. I'm running a little late today. Had a couple of things I had to take care of. I apologize for that. We normally don't come on this late. I'll try to keep this down to about 15 minutes, mainly baseball and football. A couple of announcements in case you missed it. Sherrone Moore, head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, said this morning that he was going to name his starting quarterback on Monday, the 25th. That would be the Monday before their first game at home at the Big House, pardon me, against New Mexico State. Will it be Bryce Underwood, the freshman, or will it be one of the other three quarterbacks they have on the team right now? We will have to just wait and see. I think it will be indeed Bryce Underwood. With the portal the way it is now, someone suggested to me if Underwood doesn't start, he'll just go somewhere else. True. I mean, that's what it's kind of come to in college, Division I college athletics right now. And also, so their first game, as I said, is New Mexico State, Saturday, August 30th at 7:30. It's on one of the major networks. NBC or CBS, one of those two. But Michigan State Spartans get started the night before at Spartan Stadium on Friday night, the 29th, against Western at 7:30, I think. Okay. Also, Tigers won today, 1-0. They shut out the White Sox, took 2 out of 3 in that series. So currently, that was their 70th win. So right now, they're 70-52. Troy, pardon me. Right now, they're 6 games up on Cleveland. Guardians play the Marlins later tonight, so it'll either go to 6.5 or back to 5.5. Then the Tigers start a series tomorrow night, 4-game series in Minnesota against the Twins. Tarek Skubal will go tomorrow night, pitching against the same team that he did last Friday, and he couldn't get out of the 5th inning. I don't have a very good feeling about these 4 games in Minnesota. The only good thing is that they're still in New York yet. The Yankees aren't going to give anybody a break. They don't care if they have to play the next day or not. They're playing a night game in New York. So let's figure this out here. Their game starts at 7:10, does it? Or 7:05? Probably the Twins will be getting on that plane. My guess would be about 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's a 3-hour flight back to Minneapolis. I would get them in there about 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. By the time they get to their respective dwellings, maybe 5 or 5:30, maybe might be about 6 o'clock before those guys get to bed tomorrow morning, and then they have to play 12 hours later. Maybe that's a good thing for the Tigers. Tigers, as we speak, are already on their way to Minneapolis, so they'll be there. They'll spend the night there. They'll be there much sooner than the Twins will be. I said the Yankees don't give a damn about that. You know, the only time you'll see a matinee game in New York is on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Yankees, when they're at home, do not play weekday matinees. They just don't. For obvious reasons. It has to do with the crowds there. And they don't play any Saturday night games there because people have other things to do in the Big Apple on Saturday night than go to a ball game. Dinner and Broadway plays, movies, such and such, the way it is. But anyway, yeah, Minnesota Twins won't be back home until the wee hours of tomorrow morning. So is that a good thing? We'll find out soon enough. Skubal, who, like I said, couldn't get out of the fifth inning last Friday here against the Twins. I facetiously and sarcastically put the question out to my colleagues earlier today. Is Troy Milton our best starter right now? Is he our best starter right now? He was very good today. Only gave up what? One hit through what? 5 innings or 6 innings. Anyway, White Sox only had 2 hits all day. Sawyer Gipson-Long came in and relieved. He was very good. Did give up a hit, but that runner was wiped out on a double play. Finnegan came in. I think he got the 8th. He walked better, but no harm, no foul. And Will Vest had a 1-2-3 ninth. Consider this. Well, then I was asking that question about the starting pitchers. Let's go back to last Friday and Skubal's last start. Couldn't get out of the 5th inning. Uncle Charlie lost Saturday night. Mize pitched on Sunday. He was okay, but again, he gave up a home run. Paddock was all right Monday night. They didn't. That was the game that they won 2-1. Jack Flaherty, in all fairness, I think we got into some bad luck last night. Look, Jack Flaherty last night, folks, had a season high 19 swings and misses. Then came the dreaded 5th inning. Every hit was a bloop and a bleeder. Every hit found grass somehow. They sent 11 men to the plate, scored 5 runs. The game was pretty much over at that point. So look at the 2 games that the Tigers won on Monday and today. They scored a grand total of 3 runs. Scored 3 runs in those 2 games that they won. They scored 3 runs. That's only half as many as what they scored last night in the game that they lost 9-6. Last night was just 7 walks, 1 with the bases loaded. What is Tom Candley doing on this team right now? Can somebody explain that to me, why he hasn't been DFA'd? Boy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about this starting rotation, but granted, the White Sox are better than they have been. They did take 2 out of 3, like Cleveland just did last weekend. Can the Guardians keep up doing what they're doing? I don't think so. That doesn't mean they won't. So anyway, where do we stand? And like I said, they're 17-52. They're 6.5 up, depending on what the Guardians do tonight. I just don't have a very good feeling about this 4-game series in Minneapolis. I'll feel very fortunate if they can get out of there with a split. I really will. Then they come home next week. They have 3 with Houston and 3 with Kansas City. And 1 more West Coast trip after that, the week after that. The last week this month, they fly out to Sacramento for 3 games. On the way back, they'll stop and play 3 in Kansas City. Then on Labor Day at home at Comerica, they'll start a 3-game series against the Mets, who are floundering. Who do you want to win tonight? The Twins or the Yankees? I wouldn't mind seeing the Twins win tonight. The Yankees, I think, have won the first 2 games of that series. Anyway, before we forget, let's do this for our sponsors and then talk a little bit of Lions. What happened today in Allen Park? If this is getting kind of old, or school starts next Tuesday. I'll have to go in and see Mr. Bob Flynn to get some new copy here. I apologize for reading this. Is this kind of stale? I'll read the script, but summer's almost over with. Going to have to come up with some fresh material here. If you're planning, on hitting the road this summer, which is almost over because school starts on Tuesday, your first stop should be Frank Beck Chevrolet Service Department. Get in there and let the service professionals make sure that your vehicle is ready to make any trip. Bex can check all the belts, hoses, electrical connections to make sure there are no surprises out there waiting. Get in there also, let them check the brakes, the tires, especially the cooling and air conditioning units. Have them top off all the fluids. And like I said, check the tires, and there you are, you're ready to go. So whether your vacation plans are near or far around this great state or country of ours, make sure your vehicle can make that trip. Call the service department right now at 517-849-2886 to make your appointment or stop into Frank Beck Chevrolet and M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville, and follow them on the web at frankbeckchevy.com. Come and experience the Frank Beck Chevrolet difference. Here goes the voice. Chevrolet, I'm sorry, folks. Chevrolet together, let's drive. Chevy Drive, Southern Michigan, and of course, Frank Beck Chevrolet is the number one selling Chevrolet dealer in our immediate area. More water. We're also brought to you in part by the good folks at Barrett Insurance on the corner of M99 and US 12 in downtown Jonesville. 517-849-1000. Barrett Insurance, that's barrettins.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. As I said, they're on the corner of downtown Jonesville. M99 and US 12. 517-849-1000. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. That's barrettins.com. The Lions had a joint practice session today in Allen Park at the Meyer Performance Center with the Miami Dolphins. And I think anyone who was there, by the way, they had a huge record crowd there, enthusiastic record crowd. To tell you that the Lions pretty much dominated today. They go through different scenarios, 7-on-7, 11-on-11. They'll take turns to give the team, put the ball down at the 50-yard line with a minute and a half left on the clock. You get 2 timeouts and see if you go down and score a touchdown. Both teams did. Now, the Lions stopped them. The Lions did stop them. However, when the Lions got the ball, I believe they got down and got close enough for Jake Bates to make a field goal. But pardon me, anybody who was there, reporters will tell you that the Lions pretty much dominated today. Now they're going to play again. They've got another one coming up tomorrow. As you recall, last summer, prior to the game here with the Giants, and Lions had a joint practice sessions with them. Dan Campbell wasn't at all happy with what transpired the first day. The second day, he felt a lot better. In all fairness, too, for Dolphin fans, Jaden Waddle and Tyreek Hill, although they were there in uniform, did not participate. They came out and worked out in the early drills, but before they got started with the joint practice, they were standing on the sideline. Apparently, they're both nursing minor injuries. Not really sure what happened to the Dolphins' edge, Chop Robinson. He was carted off, but apparently he tweeted out later on he's just fine. So I'm not really sure what happened there. Guys who were covering that on the tickets said they never saw it. They didn't see that. They didn't see what happened there. But main thing is he's going to be all right. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. At least not until the season starts anyway. So like I said, they'll have another practice session tomorrow, but Amon-Ra St. Brown, they couldn't cover him. J-Mo looked good. Defensively, they look very good. I'm telling you, I think this defense, folks, this year is, if they can stay healthy. Hutch and the guy on the other end, Marcus Davenport. Look, we know if healthy, Marcus Davenport, I can assure you, will have double-digit sacks this season if he can remain healthy, which he pretty much hasn't been able to do at all this year. Linebacking looks good. The rookie out of Boise State, Ahmed Hassanin, left practice yesterday with what he said was a minor injury. He said he'll be good. I don't think I don't think he was practicing today. He's had a good camp. Uh, Jackson Meeks looked good again today. The nephew of Zadarius Smith Meeks, the undrafted rookie free agent out of Syracuse by way of Arkansas, number 83. We should see a lot more of him on Saturday. Don't forget Saturday against the Dolphins, 12:30 on Fox 47. The next two Saturdays. Dolphins this Saturday, the Texans next Saturday, the 23rd. And next week, they'll have a one joint practice with the Texans, I believe, on next Thursday. So the two teams, Dolphins and Lions, will have another joint practice session tomorrow. They'll take Friday off before the game on Saturday. Kyle Allen looked good. Who stood out? Sam Laporta looked good. Main thing is about these practice sessions, don't get anybody hurt. Please, God, don't let anybody get hurt. Like I said, defensively, if they don't have any key injuries, I have a very good feeling about this Lion defense. Before we go, too, hang on a second. I've got to do this for Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale. As you know, if it wasn't for their help, we wouldn't be doing this. 37 Walter Street. 517-610-5372, Quality PC, directly across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive. Couple, maybe 100 yards west of Powell. Or any technical services at all, this is the only place to go. Computers, new or used, flat screen TV, mounting, programming. Perhaps you're changing internet providers. You need that installed. Printers, new or used, anything at all. Please get in there and see them. Tim Lidley, Lendley, Tim, or one of his great staff members, more than capable of resolving any technical issues you may have. The only place to go. Take my word for it. We're so fortunate to have them in our area. 37 Walter Street, downtown Hillsdale, 517-610-5372. Or like I said, get in there and see them and tell them me and Miggy sent you before we leave to, hang on. I don't know what's going on with the voice. I find it kind of interesting. Pardon me. That there's still some friction in the Bears camp, but I wanted looking at the NFC North, or maybe the other three teams we played. Bears, Packers, and Vikings. In watching the Vikings, highlights of the Vikings exhibition with Houston last weekend, I thought J.J. McCarthy looked okay. The majority of his passes were completed to Jordan Addison, who has been suspended for the first 3 or 4 games. Obviously, he's allowed to play in the preseason, but they won't have him to throw to. Jefferson did not play in that game. Yeah, and the only thing I can figure out is the only reason Addison's playing is because he won't be seeing any action in the first 3 or 4 games. They had better hope he doesn't get hurt. That's all I got to say. McCarthy looked all right. Bears played to a 24 tie with the Dolphins. Ben Johnson did not look like a happy camper on the sidelines. Apparently, he and Caleb Williams have not hit it off all that well. As far as the Packers go, they pretty much got their hands handed to them by who they played. Oh, the Jets. Jets beat them 31-21. And Aaron Glenn was pretty happy, man. He said, we've got to start to win right now, right away. So he was very happy. On the other hand, Matt LaFleur was livid. And the other bad news for the Packers right now is the fact that wide receiver Christian Watson is on the PUP list, physically unable to perform, which means he will miss the first 4 games of the season. That guy is good, but he just can't stay healthy. So that's a blow to the Packers. Also, apparently, Jalen Reed, the former MSU wide receiver, former Spartan, is walking around now in a boot, in a walking boot. The word is he may not be available for the opener on September the 7th against the Lions at Lambeau. Yeah, that's not good for the Packers. No. Anyway, I think we got you caught up on everything here. I have. That's going to do it for this Wednesday. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. Don't forget Saturday mornings here locally from 9 to 10 on WCSR 92.1 FM with Andy and Jed on the Timeout Show. I'll talk to you all again on Friday. As I just said, thanks so much for watching and listening. I can't thank you enough. Tell your friends. We're stuck on 95 subscribers right now. I want to get to 100. Pass the word if you would, please. So until Friday, I will bid you all a very pleasant good evening. Remember, please treat each other with respect. Like I said, have a good rest of your evening. Take care, folks. So until Friday, I'll simply say so long. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.